Hey guys, so before I enrolled in the Milan Art Mastery program, I actually took a lot of the Milan Art Mastery or master classes, and then I took some of their YouTube free classes as well. And I wanted to review a few of those too, and show you guys kind of like what I learned when I was doing that. So the class that I'm going to talk about today is I never remember the names of them, so I had to pull it up. Acrylic Painting Made Easy, and this is a class with Ellie where you paint a hummingbird. And who doesn't love hummingbirds, right? I'm a bird person, so anytime I can learn new techniques specifically on birds, I'm really excited about it, and I want to learn that because I want to elevate my skills. So this was a fantastic class. It's only $14, which I think is an excellent price for it, and it's a 3-hour class, and it's packed with information the entire time. So whether you are looking to, like, the biggest thing I would say that I learned from this class specifically is I freehanded this bird, and I usually don't freehand. I usually have to like trace or use my projector, like if I want to make it like look realistic, right? And so that was something I was really stoked for, and it ended up working out. And then I learned how to do that from now on so that I don't have to use those things anymore if I don't want to. Which makes me feel more authentic as an artist, if that makes sense. So I really enjoyed that part of it. Aside from that, you learn, she does a little bit of color theory in here, not a whole lot. She has a whole nother class for that, which I will review another time as well. But she does a little bit of color theory, and then she also does, highlighting, low lighting, starting with light or starting with dark, and then also like how to get like how to see the plane shifts in bodies and stuff like that. Very briefly, she kind of talks about that, but she talks about like how to do the shadows and things so that you are getting dimension, on your subject, basically. Yeah, it's a great class. Like I said, it's only $14, and for 3 hours of like information packed class, I think it's an excellent deal. So I'm gonna link it below if you guys want to enroll or go check it out. It will be linked below. This was a great class for me. Like I said, I love birds, so it was very helpful. Even if you aren't painting birds, even if you're doing people or whatever your subject is, this would still be a really good class to take because of all those other little tidbits that she shares, not only about painting birds, but just about painting with acrylic paints and getting your subject to look how you want it to look. So I love this little guy. I think he turned out really great, and I enjoyed the class very, very much. So I would recommend it 10 out of 10. I think it's a great place to start if you are painting with acrylics and you want to elevate your skills a little bit. And you don't need that much stuff. So I'm going to go over materials and stuff with you guys just so you know, like, if you have it or if you needed to go get something. So the first item that you need is obviously something to paint on. These are these little, it's an 8x10 canvas board, and I actually got them. I got these ones specifically like on clearance because Big Lots was closing, and I went to look around and I was like, oh, they have canvases, and I got a bunch of them for super, super cheap. But these are great ones to practice on. And so when I do little master classes and stuff like that, I use these little guys. And then I actually frame them, and then I sell them in the frames. So next, you're going to need a really big brush, and you need a large brush because to do the background you need to get a lot of paint on there. A spray bottle is also very helpful for that. You don't have to have it, but it is recommended because you need to get your canvas wet so you can move a lot of paint, smush it around, and get drips and all that good jazz. So that is recommended. And then as far as the brushes go, she just says that you need a large, a medium, and a small brush. And although that is true, there's so many different types of brushes. I would recommend, I love filbert brushes. And the reason I love filbert brushes is because if you can see it, they're kind of like squared off brushes, but then they're rounded. Their edges are rounded, right? So I love these ones specifically for birds and for animals because there's not a whole lot of sharp movements. Like, there's not a lot of sharp angles on most of the things that I paint. And specifically when you're painting a bird, to get those feathers, it's really easy to do with a filbert brush because all you do is lay your paint down like this and swoop it, and then you have a feather. And so it's very simple to do if you've got filberts. These guys are great. If you don't use what you have, it's still very possible to make this. This is just a little like tool to make it a little bit easier on you. And then aside from that, the colors of paint that she had listed, because it really doesn't matter the quality of paint that you have, or the brand or anything like that. Especially for these classes when you're just starting out, you don't want to invest a bunch of money in paint, you know, when you're just trying to figure out like what you can do, if you want to continue doing it, how much you want to paint, like, you know, what size you want to do, all that jazz. So you can go with like literally craft paint if you or your kids just have craft paint at home. You can start there and then you can kind of move up. Like if you go, Michael's is a really good place for paint. I love Blick Art Supplies because they're an excellent place for paint and they have great prices and stuff like that. But a lot of times they have like starter acrylic either sets or brands where you can kind of like pick and choose the less expensive ones. And then you can go with those. The kits are excellent, and that's where a lot of people that I know started. That's where I started too. So the little kits would be fine. But as far as colors go, you need red, blue, yellow, green, purple, black, white, and transparent brown. Pay attention to the transparent because it does come in handy. If you can find the transparent brown, it's important to have. And she will go over all of that. And then paper towels and just like a small bucket of water, and the paper towels are just to wipe your paintbrushes on. So whatever you have laying around is fine that you can get paint on and then throw away. But yeah, I have a huge roll of paper towels always with me when I'm painting, especially in acrylics. So this class, like I said, I mean, 10 out of 10. I would recommend it. It's one of the ones, like I said, that I took before I even decided to enroll in the mastery program. So this is one of the ones that kind of got me there, right? And I will link the mastery program down below too if you want more information on that. When you enroll in this class, you also get a free 30-day like posting calendar if you are working on elevating your social media, if you are an artist. And so there's a 30-day planner on like what to post, and like what content to kind of put out there for 30 days, which is helpful too. Whenever you take a mastery class with the Milan Art program or the Milan Art Institute, at least all the ones that I've taken, they've always had like a little extra tidbit and then that comes with it. And then they also offer some of the other classes at like a discounted price too, if you wanted to like double up on classes. So all in all, I think it's extremely reasonable for what it is, and especially with the information that is packed into that specific masterclass. So if you're painting in acrylic and you want to elevate your skill, $14 is not that much for a 3-hour masterclass to learn how to do that, no matter what your subject is. So yeah, and then I just finished up part 3 of the mastery program, and I am just starting on part 4. I struggled so hard with part 3, I'm gonna be honest, but that's because it's portraits, and I can paint animals all day, every day. People is where I really struggle. So I'm excited that I'm learning so many more techniques on how to do it. I'm still not comfortable with it, but I'm happy that I am learning the techniques so that I can practice and practice and practice and get better at it. So as soon as I'm done with part 4, I will post the review for part 3 and 4 of the mastery program as well. I have a video already up if you guys want to see how I felt about parts 1 and 2 on my station 2, or on my channel 2. But anyways, that's it for today, guys. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. All of the links are down below if you want to check out the masterclass or the mastery program, and I will see you next time.